Welcome back to Aegis Requiem Planetary Interaction Tutorial videos. This will be video number 2 of, I believe, 3 or 4 videos, I'm not really sure. At some later point, I may extend it, though, to fit more things as necessary. So you have your industrial ship, or whatever ship that you want to, whatever ship you have that can hold your command centers. As you see, I've got 3 different command centers here, 2 of each. I won't be able to use all of them. I only have interplanetary consolidation level 1, so I can only set up 2 planets. But in this video, I will cover just setting up a singular planet and how to do that, what you need from each planet, and yeah, that's what I'll be covering. So you have to figure out what you want to get from the planet before you, or what you might want to be getting from a planet before you start. And so I haven't done that already, so we'll do that here. So I have my planetary interaction buyback thing up. So if I want to produce, let's look at industrial fibers. Let's see if we can't do industrial fibers. So industrial fibers requires autotrophs, which require a temperate planet. So we go here to system and we see if there's a temperate planet. There is. Only problem is I don't have a temperate command center. And I don't think there are any for sale in system. And let's also check. So there's a small amount of autotrophs on this planet. So let's go back and limit myself to what I have access to. Command centers on the market cost generally 100,000, as you see here. They're quite widely available. You don't want to buy that. They're just, I believe, pretty much NPC market orders that are up on the market. So let's see, we've got a barren, a gas, and a lava. So a barren, we get precious, reactive water, bacteria, and biofuels. So if we go here, so precious metals. So we'll do that. Whoops, let's alt tab correctly, shall we? So we'll find a barren planet. Okay, so barren, there was one up there at the top. Let's look at this one. So we scan it down, and we wanted noble metals. So, as we see from here, there are a couple of hotspots. And you can also, there's this option, show other characters' networks. And so if you want to view what other people might have set up on this planet, you can do so. You have to. The problem is that with that is you have to try and find the command center, which can be quite difficult to do sometimes. But it looks like we're okay if we set up over here. I don't see anyone over here. That can help you just to figure out where you might want to set up, because the resources on a planet do diminish and regrow over time. So if 2 people are working in the same spot, then it will diminish twice as fast. So the first thing you need to do is place the command center down on the planet. So we'll place it right now. You have to undock first as well. So you have to be undocked with your industrial ship, with your command center in your cargo hold to do this. And real quick, we'll reapproach the station just in case. Even though it's high-sec, I'm still somewhat paranoid about stuff like that. So, it doesn't really matter where you put your command center. It doesn't become too important in operations, as you'll see here in a bit. So, you place your command center, you have to then accept it. So, I now have a command center, and then you need a extractor control unit. So that's one of the first things you need. And so that is what will gather in this case, the noble metals in order to produce the precious metals which we're going to sell. So another thing we'll need is a spaceport, so a launch pad. As you see there, I can't put it because I need to upgrade my command center, which I can do because I have command center upgrades level 3, as shown right here. So I can upgrade it to level 3, and because I know how I'm going to set up this planet, I know I can afford and I will be able to use all of this. So if you're doing this for the first time, you don't know, unless you're going to copy me, and you don't know how you're going to set it up, do it a level at a time if you can, or 2 levels. So if you're just going to start, that's a pretty safe bet, but for me, since I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for level 4 command center. So upgrade, and now I can place the spaceport. Okay, and then you need to create a link between that, your harvester, and your spaceport. And then I'm just going to submit to not lose any of that. You can do it all at once if you want, or you can do it bit by bit. So, and then I'm going to add, I believe we'll add 4 basic industry facilities. So basic industry facilities will produce your processed mats, and then advanced will do your refined commodities, and then high tech will do specialized and advanced commodities. So that's what the difference between those is. And then what we'll need to do is we'll need to create a link between each of our production facilities and the spaceport. And then, so that's done, submit that. This does take a fair bit of ISK. I mean, it's not free to set up in any means, as you saw there, to upgrade the command center, or if you might have seen, it was about 3 million or so to upgrade it. So you may want to keep that in mind. You will eventually, if you keep the planet going up long enough, you will eventually make the investment back, so it can be worth it if you stay in it for the long haul. So here, these are your extractor heads. You can put them wherever you want to control where your how much you'll get, as you see here by these bars. And so here's your per hour output, the amount you'll put out per hour. Here's your total output. Here's the length of the program. So this program, if I set it up as is, will last 1 hour. And here is the duration of the program. And I didn't point this out earlier, but here are the things you can get. So if you scan it, it just corresponds with these, is what it is. And then, so I'm going to set this up for 1 day and 15 minutes, because that, or 45 minutes, because that's the longest amount of time you can set it up and still get a 15-minute cycle. So yeah, you want to spread your extractor heads out kind of like this. You don't want to overlap them, because if you overlap them, as you see, you'll get a minus, because they're splitting the same amount of resources. And so I'll set that up there, and then I will submit. And I didn't start that up because I'm not paying attention. You need to make sure you hit install program when you're trying to set up an extractor. So I'll redo that here real quick. So install program and then submit, and that will set it up. So once you have your extractor set up, extracting something, you want to make sure you go to products, which is the second one here, and you want to make sure create route for the materials you're getting, and you want to make sure you transfer them over to the spaceport. And it looks like I don't need all 3, so I'll decommission this one. You won't make your ISK back, so you want to, I probably should have, if I was smart, I would have started with only 2 of them and maybe added a 3rd one if I needed it. So I'm going to decommission it. Okay, and then here under schematics, we want to choose precious metals, because that's what we're turning noble metals into, as by this. Where is it? Yeah, precious metals, noble metals. So that's what we'll be doing. So we've now selected it under schematics, and it's instantly taken us to products here. So we want to create route, and we want to route it back to our start port, so that way we don't lose it when it finishes. If you don't do that, and you don't create a route, it will you'll lose it when it finishes doing the production. It will automatically send it somewhere. And then, so I'm just doing that with all 3 of these. Install, create route. Okay. So now from here, under routes, this is this incoming. So we've got 8,344 noble metals incoming. So we want to create route. We want to create a route to the all 3 extractors. That will tell the spaceport that when it gets, as it gets the noble metals from the extractor, to send them off to the processors, and then the processors will then send them off to it will send them off back to the spaceport if you have it set up to do so, like I have here. So that is setting up the first planet. So now it will, at the end of a 15-minute cycle, it will produce the resources and put them in here, and then it will, from here, send them to each one of these, and it will send them in the order, I believe, the order you set them in. So it will fill the first one, and then the second one, and then it will fill the third one if it can. If not, it will just send as much as it can, and it will eventually fill it, if it ever gets enough resources to fill have all 3 filled at the same time anyway. So I think that concludes our first video, or our second video, sorry. So I guess the next video will either deal with doing refined commodities, or show you hauling on and off materials from your planets. I think it'll do with hauling on and off and possibly selling them. So that will be the end of this video, and I will see everyone later.